You've been thinking about buying the new G.I. Joe classified mainframe? Well, maybe you should watch this. G'day boys, welcome back to Frostbite's G.I. Joe Repro. Taking another look at one of these newer figures that have come out for the classified line, and I can't tell you enough how unexcited I am about this character. But you know, like the thing is with these things, as I found with Wetsuit, like I looked at Wetsuit in the pre-releases and I was like, meh, quite like Wetsuit, but I was a bit unexcited about the classified version. And then I opened that sucker up and I couldn't love it more right now. I think it's a fantastic figure. So for a character like Mainframe that I find pretty boring, I thought, why not just open it up and maybe we're going to be pleasantly surprised. I haven't watched anyone else's review video, so this is going to be a complete surprise to me about, what's in here and how it all works together. So, yeah, let's move into this.
G.I. Joe will return after these messages. Now, back to G.I. Joe.
Okay, so packaging, right? These things are all the same. Like I said in Wetsuit, I care not for any of this crap. Hasbro, don't even bother. Like, it's a waste of time. These pictures that have been turning up on the sides of these newer ones definitely look like AI art to me. But whatever. It's not a bad picture. I don't mind it. He hasn't got 14 fingers or something. Looks pretty decent to me, so whatevs. And then on the back of this one, we've got Mainframe leaning next to a wooden crate that he's obviously using as a table. He's got his laptop on it and a bit of comms gear. And pistol drawn, I just heard a sound. Oh crap, it's over there. So yeah, not bad. Not the usual things that we have been seeing from these guys. More often than not, I see really great pictures on the back of these, and this really isn't one that I'm excited about. What I am excited about is the use of the red in this laptop, and that's what I'll be excited to see. Is it legit? We're seeing, old mate wearing his helmet. Good for him. That's his stack hat from the 80s. Bit of a special helmet. And then his backpack. But we'll see them when we get in. Up the top, nothing, just the 178. Down the bottom, who cares? Blah, blah, blah. All right. Let's open this up.
G.I. Joe will return after these messages. Now, back to G.I. Joe.
Okay. Here we go. Nothing else left in the box. There's the usual piece of paper that says don't stick figure in mouth and choke on it. This box will be going to the bin. I'm actually really happy opening a lot of these boxes now because I get to clear some space. I just don't have the space anymore to be loading this shit up onto shelves. So it goes. There it goes. All right. So here we are. So we're going to take all these pieces out, and then I'm going to put him next to his V1 version, or his version 1 from 1986. Just while we have him sitting here, though, let's take a look at his file card. Now, it's saying that his primary military specialty is computer technology, secondary military specialty infantry. He's from Phoenix, Arizona, E5. It says Mainframe enlisted in the Army airborne at the age of 17 and made it over to Southeast Asia for the last year of hostilities, just in time to get his combat infantryman's badge. He left the Army to get his degree from MIT on the GI Joe or GI Bill, and did a stint toiling in the antiseptic corridors of Silicon Valley, making big bucks and fighting off boredom with a stick. Luckily, the Marines were looking for a few good men with just his qualifications. The proper papers were signed and Mainframe was back in uniform. Too much of the modern battlefield is computer coordinated, not to have a computer specialist right out there in the field with you. Problem is, most hackers don't exactly fit the combat profile. Mainframe is the exception. He was 10 years older than the next oldest trainee at Paris Island, and he still finished at the top of the class. He's got brains, but he's hard. Okay. Now, my biggest thing with Mainframe, right, and I'll tell you flat out, I never actually owned this figure as a kid, for that great reason that I find him to be easily one of the most boring characters in the line. I think he's terrible. Now, why do I think he's terrible? Because as a kid, this guy did not make sense. Here he is here. This guy made no sense to me. As a kid, I didn't know what a computer was. I certainly didn't know what a hacker was. This thing was just, I don't know, it was just a dude in a boring grey suit with no weapons. That's the interesting thing here. OG guy didn't come with weapons. So it's sort of this thing, like, what does this guy do? If I don't know what a computer is or what a hacker is, what am I buying this guy for? I mean, 1986, this guy was released, right? We're seeing bats, robots with extra features. We've got Beachhead. He is cool as shit. Even Doll Titan made more sense to me than this guy. And then Lowlight. How were you ever going to win against Lowlight? So that's the kind of competition this guy had. And even now, I don't think much of him now. I mean, this is him. I didn't even have him complete. And generally, when I don't sort of bother about completing a figure, it's because I really don't care about him. This is the one from my cabinet, by the way. So, yeah, that's the thing, right? Bored the shit out of me. Now, when I look at him now, I actually have a lot of respect, and not for this figure. I have a lot of respect for Hasbro. They made a figure, or released a figure, in 1986 that was a cyber hacker. I'd be screwed if I know what he was going to be hacking. Because, like computers, like we didn't have the internet, right? So, and more than happy if there's some computer savvy dude that knew exactly what was going on in 86. Let me know in the comments. To me, this guy would be carrying around all this crap, and he would need to get into an organization, like physically into their building, and tap into their computer system, if they own one. Otherwise, you're just bringing this guy along, and he's just a big old case of what if? What if they have a computer system? I mean, we went through his file card earlier, right? And it was saying that he's infantry. Well, you know, he started out as infantry. Army Airborne at the age of 17. And it's saying he made it to Southeast Asia. Like, obviously, we're talking about Vietnam, right? So this guy served in Vietnam and then come back and then become a hacker. I don't know. It's, at the time, terrible. Terrible story. Now, I'm very, I don't know, respectful of the fact that, like we hear a lot, The Simpsons predicting things. These Hasbro guys predicted a hacker. And I can certainly tell you, I didn't know what a hacker was until, I don't know, what, 20 years ago or something. So, and these guys released a figure in 86 that was a hacker. Now, the other thing was the gear that he's carrying. Like, this thing, you can see the disk drives in there. That's cool, like floppy disks. There's a keyboard. There's a little screen. This thing would have been a monster. I don't reckon it would have been this big. If it had been this big, this guy would have been carrying around, you know, basically unreleased tech in 86, I reckon. But it's cool that they come up with the idea. I just don't think it worked that well for kids who didn't even know what a bloody computer was. So, but yeah. Moving on from there. Let's take a look at the figure.
G.I. Joe will return after these messages. Now, back to G.I. Joe.
Well, I'm taking these parts out. If you're not currently subscribed to the channel, go and hit that sub button. Check out my future videos. Hit the bell. Let you know when they're coming out, when they're released. If you currently are subscribed to my channel, take a look at my membership options. For a couple of bucks a month, you get, you know, 2 to 3 extra videos a week. And I am doing giveaways monthly at the moment. Free vintage toys, comics. I've got about $80 worth of stuff that I'm giving away this month. And it's all done by, you know, the special wheel on the that you can find on the internet. Couple of bucks a month. Give it a go. If you don't like it, you can always cease. All right. We're going to go through all this stuff. This knife looks a lot like the commando knives, like the air commando knives. Not a lot of detail, but you know, there wasn't a lot of detail on these knives, so nothing too special there. Bit of whatevs. Now, we'll notice it goes on his right leg. And why does it go on his right leg? Because on the original figure, he has a knife on his right leg. So like the wetsuit figure, we're just really at a point now where we're just copying the old molds. Which, whatever. Like, that's cool. I am completely happy with that. Okay, let's go with this one. The pistol. This is quite a nice little weapon. That's going to go up on his chest holster. Now, let's have a chat about this. That fits really nicely. And it's got this tab that comes over. I don't know if you can see it. But it's got a little peg on it, which fits into the little hole and secures that in. That is a super, super nice touch. I really like that. I haven't seen that before in any of the classified figures. I don't open a lot of these, so I'm not an expert. I just like the looks of it. It is nice. Really nice. What's next? Okay, his little radio. Oh, that's cool. Can't see what's written there. Maybe dialing or online calling, something like that. That's the problem looking at or loving these toys, right? Is you're so old, your eyes just can't work as well as they used to. It looks like calling to me. Backpack. Some really nice little details there. This thing is pretty much spot on, except mirrored to the original. Noting that my antenna is busted. Same little spin wheel. Same sort of thing happening here. These screens are still here. Even the dots are there. Same little bit under the vent. And then we've got these vent things. On the side, we've got our antenna. Which, you know, they're clearly copying the original because an antenna wouldn't need to be that big. Obviously the back's going to be different. This is cool. It's like they're just giving it, trying to make it look like some type of padding, which is totally realistic. Down the bottom, a bit of vintage. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Seeing these lines here, what is this? Does this open? Am I doing the wrong thing? Kind of feels like I'm doing the wrong thing. They just stuck something on the front. It looks like just a front. It does open though. It's just pegged in. So we'll just put that back to where that went. Doo-doo-doo. And yeah, that's his backpack. Got an antenna. No, not an antenna. Cable. And it's clearly going into this thing, which is another piece of radio kit. The detail on this is pretty good. So let's have a look at this. I do find it funny that they waste their time putting crap on the sides of these boxes that I don't really give a shit about. But to Don't actually give us any instructions on where this stuff plugs into. It sort of weirds me out a little bit. Like, just put it on the box, mate. All right, so this clearly goes onto there. Like that. It's pretty cool. You can then hold the radio and talk. It's good that it's got somewhere to sit. And then this thing goes in there. And put his backpack on. Way more secure than previous backpacks that I've seen on these guys. Okay, helmet. His special boy helmet. Very clear design on this one. I like it. This thing has always just been some type of jumble, which I can not tell what it is and therefore don't care. So let's get this on. I don't know why he needs a helmet. He's a hacker. Why the shit would you need some kind of special boy helmet like that? Not this guy's fault, because he's just copying this guy. But this guy, why have you got this helmet, bro? All right. The laptop. Now, the thing I want to know is it sexy red on the inside? It's some very minor details, and this is clearly just the new version of this. So no nods, apart from he's got something to carry. That slides out. I'm assuming that's meant to be some type of tablet. It's pretty cool. Put that back in. Okay, come on. Look at that. Sexy. Cool little screen, just a decal. Little decal of buttons on the side there. And mold of keyboard. Which you can then pull. Maybe that's meant to be like that. It's pretty cool. Very simple, but it does the job. I like it. And then all that's left is this alternate head sculpt. Which, this is clearly them trying to modernize this special helmet. So you get both, you get old, classic look, and then you get this new version. That's a bit flexible. And this is way better. I like this. He's so going to be wearing a baseball hat rather than special helmet. All right, let's take a look. Take this off. Take this off. Put this guy on. There we go. It looks way better. Let's take a look at the body mold. So this thing is just a flat out rip of this. They've changed the head sculpt. Good on them. That's really good. What's he got in common? He's got this part above his right chest. Something there. They've gone with the black bandolier with the silver objects on it. We're hitting the same handgun on his left shoulder. Same insignia. Right, nothing. We're seeing the sleeves rolled up, exactly the same. This belt is, the belt buckle. Not exactly the same, but exactly the same feel. He's got all of his pouches that go around. This is a new feature. The red and the yellow wire. I'm assuming that's maybe Cat 5 wire so that he can just do some hacking on the go or something. The only thing I'm seeing that is good with that is the fact that it provides some much needed color. That is the only thing on this. Like, even the red seems to sort of blend in with the gray, like it's a bit boring. But that yellow, man, that stands out like dog's balls. So, yeah, good on him for that. As I discussed earlier, the knife on the leg's the same. This thing on his wrist. Bit of a comms unit. It looks like it's separate to his arm. He does not have it on the original. So that is a completely new piece. This bit here, like his little comms unit here, clearly meant to be this, which is a phone. It looks like to me. Like a push button phone, which would have been remarkably cool for its time, if that's what it was. The knee pads, that's cool. And then, just this grey suit with the black boots. Yeah. He's got some type of, computer unit, same backpack. This came with the hose and the hand unit, comms unit. So, yeah, it's got that. So, that's our figure today.
G.I. Joe will return after these messages. Now, back to G.I. Joe.
Now, what do I think about this? I'm just going to give it to you straight. I had high hopes opening this and thinking it was going to be amazing. It is not. It is, to me, as bland as the original. I don't even really feel like I want to take photos of this guy. He just screams boring to me. I would have actually really liked if they'd given him some kind of Hawaiian shirt, kept the pants, kept given him this hat, but given him some type of shirt that indicates that he's not some military hacker, because it doesn't seem right for a Joe hacker to be walking around in a boring as shit grey suit with all this stuff tied to him. Like, why would he need this? What the hell is this for a guy in 2025? This is perfect. This is excellent. He should have some type of nonchalant shirt, maybe like an Under Armour shirt. Keep the pants, keep the laptop, get rid of this on his arm, get rid of this bandolier, get rid of the backpack, keep the holster, keep this on his leg, keep his knife, that's cool. Why does he need knee pads? What's he doing? This dude is sitting at a table or something with a laptop and causing damage. He's not, you know, getting on his knees. Like, this artwork. He shouldn't be doing that enough that he needs knee pads. So now it's just become this sort of detail where you're like, okay, you just did this so that there's like color halfway down the leg. I'm not a fan. I'm glad I spent the money to be able to see what it's like. But yeah, if someone offered me the money that I paid for this, I would probably just hand it over. Let me know in the comments what you think about this guy. I know there's people out there that really like Mainframe. I can't figure out why. But that's cool. Everyone's got their thing, right? If you haven't checked out my review of Wetsuit, go check that out. And, you know, like I said earlier, if you're not subbed to the channel, hit that sub button. Check out my members options. Until the next video, boys, stay frosty. Bye-bye.